I got engaged. I know, I literally disappeared for 5 months and I came back with the biggest news. But honestly, sometimes you just have to take a step back. And for me, I had so much going on between traveling, launching my new offering, Inner Alchemy, and of course, saying yes to my soulmate. If you've been following me on Instagram, I got an overflux of just loving messages about my engagement, and I just want to say thank you so much for all the love that I got. It means so much to me. Also, thank you for being patient as I took a break from YouTube, but I'm ready to start posting consistently again. So grab your matcha, we got a lot to cover. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like 2024 was one of my most transformative years. Not because everything went well, but because everything kind of was extremely difficult. As you guys know, I've been on a gut healing journey for a really long time, and I finally have got my beautiful little tummy gut in a much better place than it's ever been in my whole life, where I don't feel like it controls my whole life. I struggled with insane skin problems, bloating, constipation, hives, autoimmune disease, you name it, I basically was dealing with it. And it wasn't until I met Dr. Joffrey, who is a dear, dear friend of mine and also a gut health specialist for many years, working with hundreds of thousands of clients, specifically in holistic health and medicine to treat gut health, that my whole journey changed for the better. And I started following his protocols and taking specific supplements that I needed based off of my results from a GI map. And a GI map is the best and only test you should be taking for gut health to be able to know the state of where your gut is. I, in all my years of gut suffering, have partnered with Dr. Joffrey to create an amazing online program called Inner Alchemy. And this is a specific to gut health. He covers all of the things that are doctor, scientific, practical, supplements, and I do the other portion of it, which is what I find to be just as important, which is the spirituality, stress management, and connecting more with our bodies to relieve stress. Because at the end of the day, why I couldn't heal my gut as well, even though he was giving me really amazing protocols, because it took me about 4 years, even after I met Dr. Joffrey, to get my gut where it is now. And what got me there was managing my stress. And when I was living in Los Angeles before my journey to Italy, if you would have asked me if I struggled with anxiety, I would have told you no. But then when I moved to Italy and actually sat in silence and had balance in my life and realized that I wasn't a grounded human being at all, and I had so much underlying stress, like I honestly felt so bad for this like beautiful temple of a body. Like at the end of the day, this is the only thing that we have to live with. If all else falls apart, or if everyone in our lives disappears, it's you in this vessel, your body. And so why not take care of it the best that you can while you're living in it? That's the way that I look at it. So Inner Alchemy has been the most exciting thing I have launched in a very long time. One, because I'm so passionate about this and I want to help as many people as possible, and Dr. Joffrey feels the same. But it's been so cool to put both of our expertise and all of our craziness of obsession over the years in holistic health, especially specific around gut health, and putting it into one program. So Romeo and I, for those of you who don't know, we met almost 2 years ago now, and it's currently January of 2025. And we met through a mutual friend actually in America. So Romeo lived in New York for 5 years. I obviously lived in LA and born and raised in California for 12 years. And I met a gentleman right before I moved, actually, who had just moved to LA. We met at a party, we hit it off. We just became really good friends, and 3 months later I moved. So we stayed in touch kind of, and then kind of just fell off after I, journeyed my way to Europe. And about 1.5 years later after I moved, He texted me out of nowhere and was like, hey, how are you? And I told him that I moved to Italy, and he was like, oh my God, one of my best friends lives there. And I was like, amazing, I have no friends, so I would love to meet them. And he happened to live in Florence, which was the closest city to me, and I was living in Umbria at the time, where my farm is. And I thought nothing of it. I was just like, I can't wait to meet friends. So he connected me and Romeo in a text message, and Romeo invited me to a group dinner on Friday in Florence, and I rang his apartment doorbell because he had drinks there before we went to dinner. And he opened the door and we took a look at each other, and that was pretty much it. It was a love at first sight type of situation. And here we are now, engaged, almost 2 years of dating, and I couldn't be happier. He is a very private person, which is why I don't tag him much, or I don't tag him at all on Instagram. And I share, yes, I do share our relationship a little bit, but I'm never gonna be one of those people that just all of a sudden turns into a couple Instagram, because I just love, no offense to those people, by the way, I love watching them. It's just, we like to have our lives separate from each other, but also our lives together. And I think that this is how you really have a long-lasting relationship. I have been through many bad relationships, and I think many of us, especially, you know, women who follow me, I'm sure have had similar. I realized this pattern that I had with men, and it took me a very long time to recognize it. And when I look back at all my relationships, I was always a relationship girl. Like, I was in a 6 months relationship in second grade. My dad always thought that it was so cute because I always had these like long-term boyfriends, you know? But when I look back, not in second grade, but like when I got turned into adulthood, and I look back and reflect on the, you know, relationships that I had, because even before my 8-year relationship with my ex, I had a high school sweetheart that I was with for 5.5 years, and there was basically only a 2-year window where I was single, and I went wild, don't worry. And I realized that I had this pattern where I was always accepting men who were not 100% available. And even the couple like randoms that I dated in my healing process after a 8-year relationship, I was attracting the exact same situation. Great men, but they had some sort of scenario where they were never 100% available. And it wasn't until I recognized it, and of course, you know, I've been doing spiritual practices and different, you know, modalities for like a very long time, so I have some of these tools in my toolbox, but sometimes these layers of the onions of our lives don't want to show up until they're ready to show up. And I remember sitting in my Umbria house being like, oh my God, Shayna, I will never accept a man in my life again who is not 100% available. And I remember just like screaming it to the universe, screaming it to the creator, just like so pissed off and being like, I will never do it again. And I was just like, this was it. And I feel like for 2 months I was so emotionally exhausted. It was like my body was going through this like transformation of obviously up-leveling myself, because I finally like said no more to this pattern I had, because you can't be a victim in our relationships. If we keep attracting a bad relationship after a bad relationship, it's not those people, it's you. You are attracting these mirror-like experiences that are just gonna shine a mirror in your face until you can figure out your trauma and be able to transmute it, change it, evolve. We're here as human beings to evolve and transform and grow, and that is why we come here to have this human experience, because our souls come with specific traumas that we need to work through to evolve. And it is our choice as human beings to collect the tools we need to understand how to evolve over them, or you come back over and over and over and over and over again until you literally finally figure it out. Once I got over that hump, shabam, Romeo comes bulldozing into my life 3 months later, and I realized that he's literally my dream man. He is everything that I ever wanted and asked for in a partner. And I was shocked, and I was a bit scared, of course, because I was like, is this it? Is it not? But you have to stop dissecting things when they come into your life, because then you start planting seeds when your thoughts go in dark places that actually start to define your future. And you can attract back a different pattern. But if you live in the present and you also just allow the partner or the new dating person that you have in your life to show up authentically who they are. So as authentic as possible, you don't put them in a box, you don't romanticize them, you don't try to make them be anyone else than who they are. It allows you to observe, experience, take notes, but not letting your mind wander into crazy romantic or toxic places that aren't realistic. And our minds are so powerful in both directions, positive and negative. And so when we can recognize to try to get our minds, when it starts to go in, you know, our satanic direction, into light of the creator direction of like, that doesn't serve me. And so what is the opposite of that? And training our brains to always start thinking the positive, you can really truly be in the present moment and allow things to be exactly how they are. And that's how you find peace. True peace. Our proposal was so beautiful. We went to Todos Santos, Baja California, and he got this beautiful hotel with this like glamping tent on the beach, and we spent 6 days there, and it was so peaceful. It was exactly what we both needed in our crazy year. And we walked and did a sunset beach walk. He had a beautiful table set up from the hotel and a beautiful glass of wine, and of course said some beautiful words to me and got down on one knee and proposed to me with the most beautiful ring ever. And we're just so happy, and it's like kind of crazy because I feel like it's still digesting. Also about the idea of like throwing a wedding. It's like something as a woman you think about for your whole life, and then all of a sudden it's in front of you, and I'm like, oh my god, like what do I even want? I have no idea. Like I have no idea where to even start. I don't want to do a basic wedding, but then I kind of want to do like the beautiful aspects of a wedding, and then I kind of want to just have like a party, and then it's like I have so many things, but we'll get there. We'll figure it out. I mean, Romeo and I already live together. Florence isn't our forever place. We will always have a home in Italy, but we also would like to spend our time in another area, which we haven't exactly figured out where yet. Me as an American, and also my businesses being run in Italy, I definitely want to have a house in the States at some point again, maybe in the next couple years. I don't know where yet. I love Nashville. LA, of course, is my home, but TBD. I would love to also move houses, you know, the place that we have now in Florence, and buy something and maybe fix something up, but we gotta see where life takes us. And wedding, you know, it is for sure gonna be in 2026 in the beginning of the year, but we have no idea where, and TBD, because I will definitely, of course, be sharing all the details. Shayna's Kitchen is my baby. It is, of course, my brand that I started with nothing, you know, 50 matchas. It actually started as a recipe development Instagram, and then I decided to sell my own matcha with 50 matchas, and now I have a small business selling matcha. And of course we have our new offering, which is olive oil. And we just finished a couple months ago our 2024 olive oil production harvest. But I am really excited, of course, because our olive oil is honestly like the best olive oil still to this day that I've tried. It goes on everything. It has really high polyphenol count. It has a very high smoke point, which means it's way healthier, and you can cook with it, even though I suggest eating olive oil mostly raw. Olive oil lemon shots or grapefruit is my favorite way to incorporate, and of course I drizzle it on literally all my food. Like I think I go through a half a liter like a week. If you're interested, of course, on all of the things Shayna's Kitchen products or more new recipes, make sure to follow us on Shayna's Kitchen, as all of our announcements and everything go there. Also, if you're interested in our newsletter, we do a very strategic newsletter with a lot of my favorite things. And of course, special edition recipes and different things that we cover based on whatever we are having that month, and as well as first access and discounts into all of the things that we do for product wise and product launches. So make sure that you check it out or sign up for our newsletter on our website, of course, shaynaskitchen.com. So recently I have been traveling all over, literally. I was just in the US in October to the beginning of November. Then I had to go back to Italy, and then I was in Mexico, and then I am now back in LA. I'm actually filming in Los Angeles currently. I pretty much am staying in LA all of January for work things, and I'm also going to this seminar at the end of the month. That's why I decided to stay longer, and then I will be going back to Italy, and I cannot wait, of course, right before Valentine's Day to be back with my fiance. We have so much to cover and talk about that's for sure, about our wedding and trying to make decisions pretty quickly here, especially if we want to get married next spring. This is another very cool offering I wanted to update you guys on. I don't know if you saw, but on Instagram, I did a post about wanting to help specific people who dream about moving to Italy, to help them find their dream home, basically. I really got, excuse my French, but F-U-C-K over, well, F-U-C-K-E-D over. And I had to dig myself out of the hole that I got myself into when I first moved and I was trying to buy a property in Italy, and I got rid of all the people who were taking advantage of me as a young American and met all the amazing people who really have helped me on my journey and are like extremely professional. And it takes a team. There's a lot of layers that go into buying property in Italy. It is nothing like America. So if you are looking to buy a property, just scratch everything that you know and throw it out the window. And then either come to me or make sure you have a person that you really trust, because it is very easy for Americans to be taken advantage of because it is a system and a real estate market that you know nothing about. I would never do this unless I felt 100% certain that these people will be protected as best as they can. I mean, obviously there's always things that happen in Italy and there's different circumstances, but for the best of my knowledge and the people's knowledge, we will do our best to make sure that 1, you're not overpaying, 2, you're not going to get introduced to the wrong people who are going to take advantage of you, and 3, just feel like it should be an enjoyable chapter when you want to do something big like that for you or your family. And mine was so mystical when I first moved, and then it just turned into a horror story that I'm still unraveling myself out of. And that's why I feel really passionate, and I decided to kind of open up this window of opportunity to help specific people that have the similar dream of me of moving to this beautiful country of Italy that has so much to offer. I am so grateful for social media because it has allowed me to build what I've built. It also allows me to connect to all of you, which makes me feel so grateful. I love it. I will never be like a complete hater of social media because I can't, because it's brought so much value, even though it's brought so much frustration. But the social media that I knew when I got started in my journey in 2020 is not the social media that it is now. As a content creator and somebody who really cares about community and connecting with my community and answering my community and putting out content that I know makes my community feel inspired and feel good, and basically I'm like pumping out content to try to work with the algorithm, and most of the time the people who want to see it don't even see it. I have been looking for a platform outside of social media that I can bring my community to, where they get not only more access to me, but also all of the things that I'm obsessed with and knowledgeable about that you guys are interested in learning, into one place that's digestible, that you can see it, that you can be involved in it. So I decided to create a subscription model community, and I want this to be accessible to everybody. It's gonna be recipes, it's gonna be cooking classes, it's gonna be in-person events, also first access to longer retreats. I'm covering astrology, I'm covering spirituality, I'm covering manifestation. There's gonna be meditations in there. We have movements. I'm going to bring on special guests, like a podcast that are only for the members, that we are going to record, so you can either watch it live with us and ask questions, or you can watch it back and have all the people that basically have inspired me in my journey in different topics. So every month we will have a specific topic, and then in the weeks I will be posting new content. But what is the most amazing part of this community that I'm building, and this community, by the way, is called Shayna Serene Circle. I wanted to bring my retreats that I do for a week and bring it so it's accessible to everybody's home, and so everybody can come to what I teach, and how incredibly transformative it is when people come and they're open to this transition they're having in life and the information that I have to share. I've never been so excited about something in my life, because I feel like Instagram made me feel really disheartened about the whole reason why I started what I started and what I do and why I do what I do. But this new platform has made me feel such a spark of inspiration and excitement that I get to connect even deeper and more intimate with my community. And I cannot wait for you guys, if you feel called, to join this community so that I can meet you, I can hear your questions, I can see your recipes, and we can just build this incredible community together. As you all know, grounding in the morning, meditating and journaling is my base. That is where I start my days pretty much every single day. A little sun on my face, a little self-reflection, a little calm, a little grounding, all of those things. And from there, I feel like I love a little bit of beauty and self-care in the morning. That's why you always see me with my eye patches and always like doing my little gua sha routine. Just because I feel like a little extra self-care and self-love for ourselves every day is such a beautiful way to just tell our bodies we love them and make sure we prioritize ourselves and our well-being a little bit more than we prioritize, actually a lot more than we prioritize others, to be fair. It's a balance, but I love these tips. Some of my other favorite things I love right now that are new kind of things, I love castor oil packs on my belly button. I have been loving that for detoxification. I also love and swear by red light therapy. I actually just bought one of those panels that I can sit in front of to get more of that red light therapy. I was doing like masks and different things like that, and I also have it in my infrared, but I just want to do a little bit more. And of course, my olive oil lemon shots and my collagen matcha lattes. Actually, one of my favorite things I've been doing lately is an ashwagandha matcha latte with cinnamon and ashwagandha. And you can also put a little vanilla if you feel like you need a sweetener in there, because ashwagandha can be a little bit like bitterness. Great for stress. If you don't know anything about ashwagandha, it is a root that naturally calms the nervous system. So for a girly who has really worked on her underlying anxiety in the last couple years, and 2025 is like my ultimate goal of becoming so aware of when my stress spikes that I'm able to correct it immediately. My ashwagandha matcha lattes have really brought a lot of value to my morning. And for those entrepreneur ladies out there, or maybe girls who just really work a lot, these are some of the things that, even though I mean, I have 5 companies at this point, and people ask me all the time, like, how is it that you don't look like insanely stressed all the time or overworked? And it's frankly because I have boundaries. I do these rituals and I do what I love. I can't stress enough. Being also, like, for instance, Shayna's Serene Circle, being in a community like that to help you, give you the tools that you need to manage your stress, not only for your personal life, but your work life. There's nothing more valuable than having these tools, because I know the tools is what changed everything. It's not about trying to figure it out on your own. It's about understanding and resonating with a tool that you can have in your back pocket for when you get reactive and shit hits the fan, to correct yourself and come back into alignment. And I'm gonna teach all of those things in my Shayna Serene Circle. I just want to thank everyone for being on this journey with me. I still feel humble every single day of my life that so many people are interested in what I'm doing and my life, and how I can inspire them through my own struggles and my own journey. I have to say that every hard thing that I have been through, and let me tell you, it's a Rolodex of challenges, it makes it all worth it, because it allows me to inspire others who go through similar things. And what I learned in my journey, if it helps one of you in yours, it makes my suffering not suffer. It makes it all worth it, and it makes me feel like it's purposeful, and I would go through it again just to be able to help other people. So thank you for being a part of this journey and supporting me and being so loving and kind. And I can't wait to continue to build out this community and share with you friends, and let's freaking evolve and transform together. We don't need to do it alone. I'm so excited to share more YouTube content for you guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see from me. I'm always interested, and of course, prioritize what my community wants to learn and see. Check out this video where I share my gut healing elixir. I will see you in the next video.